Hello everybody, welcome to stream. Today I have finally on my stream uh, Newton Hang, the inventor of Reclaimer Elves himself. Hello Newton.
Thank you, Inigo, and congratulations on your very impressive top four run yesterday.
Thank you. I think you have some merit to it as well as Jörg that is also hanging on in the chat. Hello Jörg.
Oh yeah. So congratulations to Jörg as well for making the top 8 as well. Especially for Jörg, who's no stranger to making the top.
Yeah, he's a usual from the top 8s, right? Okay, so first thing, we're going to review the run. We will have Newton point out all my mistakes that they will not view. First thing is we don't have at the moment. We don't have the first round because he didn't stream the first round. So we'll go and take that from the replay system. Okay. So first round one was okay. So sorry. Quick plug for Newton. Yeah, sorry. I guess we said it. I've said this a few times on my other streams, but since this is the first time I have him as a guest on the stream, I've been following him since like 2019 or so, and I think he's one of the few content creators that has been putting up a lot of free content. Even if he just recently made Patreon, he still gives a lot of, I would say, most of his content for free, and he will help mostly anybody. While other content creators, I don't want to disregard anybody, but I think is one of the best value for the back if you want to subscribe to any Patreon, and I am subscribed myself, so I mean, so yeah, I think definitely if you want to learn Reclaimer Elves, you are interested in the archetype or just want to see how the inners of the how a great deck building is managed through a great community, I think the Reclaimer Discord is great.
Thank you, Inigo. I appreciate the plug.
Let me do the shout out. All right. So did you have all Newton's media in his Twitch about page? And yeah, the Discord is free. There's a lot of content free. If you want to have an extra OVR support Newton, you can go ahead and dive into the Patreon. You will not regret it. Okay. So let's see round one. Round one was against Delver. So I started challenge pretty hot. No, Delver not my best matchup, as you know, but I've been working on it. So hopefully I made a good showing for myself. Let me do this.
Shout out to Baku for allowing you to watch his challenge from Saturday. By the way, I'm sure that helped.
Definitely, it helped a lot. It helped a lot, and he also answered a lot of questions from myself that like he shouldn't be answering. Right? He was playing the actual challenge. I was just observing. So yeah. Newton, can you watch Are you watching on the stream, or should I share the screen with you?
Either way, I think we can just watch on the Twitch. I'm watching on Twitch right now. It's fine.
Oh, okay, so I will just play it, and next round will be on the Twitch bot, so it will be easier. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so we're on the play here. I mean, this is a known Delver player, and I think this is a good keep, right? Only
that's pretty reasonable. Like, I don't think you can ask for anything.
Maybe an extra land.
Maybe one of an extra cradle or something.
Yeah, forcing the druid there, so I'm pretty happy to get him down to 5.
So there actually, I think I would have actually led with the heritage druid. Oh, sorry, the reclaimer.
Given that we have 2.
Given that we have 2, and I think I want to get cradle, to be honest.
Yeah. So
also, yeah. So for 2 reasons, really.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Just because I think we have 2, and I think we want the reclaimer is a stronger turn 1 play if they don't do anything. But it's a good thing that they force the heritage, right? So I guess some people do that randomly.
Yeah. So actually, now that you say it, it makes sense because we had double fed, so means if the reclaimer lives through turn 1, we will have the big reclaimer on turn 2, and we will. It's a, as you often say, it's a must answer threat, right? Because it's threatening getting cradle turn 2.
The way I see it is, if we untap with reclaimer, they've already lost.
Okay, so here trying to play now the reclaimer out and protecting it. It gets dates, so that might be an issue. If I wouldn't have the second reclaimer, I think I would have maybe led on Visio to trying to draw a card. But what do you
I think that's reasonable.
What do you think about that play? Because forcing getting the symbiote days, so I know I will get something days, right?
No, I definitely agree with getting the symbiote days, because you have the second reclaimer, right? So what this does is they have to answer the Wirewood before they can answer the reclaimer. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And if they answer both, you still have another reclaimer. In the other scenario, if they answer both, you're left with a Wirewood.
Yeah. Also, here is an interesting scenario where they present a wasteland, and I obviously am telegraphing here. I want to get Cradle, and I think here I don't get it actually, because I think, okay, so I don't have extra land drops to keep rotating for it, so I think I actually don't get it, and
go ahead.
And just try to develop my board of 2 forests until I get something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Because we don't have a third land drop.
Yeah. Hello, Arcan. No, actually, Newton is here to correct me.
Yeah, if you want the secrets to the to us, there is a Patreon, right?
Okay, I think I can pass this a little faster. So yeah, getting frisky here with the first reclaimer, playing out the other 2. I thought about main facing the Once Upon a Time, trying to hit an extra land, but I guess since all my basics were out, that would mean I have to expose it to Cradle. Sorry, I have to expose it to Wasteland without mana up to protect it. So I guess I just play quote unquote safer.
Yeah, I think if it were me, I probably would Once Upon a Time and run it into the Wasteland, because if they waste it, then you can actually get Cradle, right? The turn after.
Yeah. What's going on with the replay?
Might have froze, maybe.
Okay. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so they just pass a few turns. I top the land, which is super lucky. And here I think I decide on attacking, because I want to Once Upon a Time there in step. Possibly I could have so basically I want them to waste my Boseiju, right? And then I will Once Upon a Time, but I think they don't fire the Wasteland. I think they might be confused by this play. I don't know if this was correct.
I think I probably would have held one Reclaimer back, to be honest.
But I think if you hold one Reclaimer back, they will not fire the Wasteland. That makes sense? So this opponent demonstrated...
You can force them to fire the Wasteland regardless, by actually either playing the Once Upon a Time or just getting a Cradle. That's going to force their hand.
Yeah, my read here was, okay, so opponent more or less knows the matchup, because he holds the Wasteland of the 2 forests, so he obviously knows I want to rotate for Cradle, and also he's not firing it blindly on the Boseiju. So I'm saying, okay, I want to get the Cradle, but from the Once Upon a Time, so it doesn't enter the board tapped, so I can at least get one use out of it, right? That's like what I'm thinking at this point.
Sure, that's reasonable, and they want to. Yeah, that's reasonable. But I probably would have just held the Reclaimer up, because that gives you full options of bogging too, right? In case they just want to run out of Murktide or something.
Okay, here we find an Endurance, which is the one off in the main deck, pretty sweet. And now I think I just run the Vicios. Yeah, the Bold. I was super scared about the BFF. Respectable, definitely. And here I think I just get in again. Yeah.
But as you know, hitting land drops is just very important.
Yeah. We often actually I had some people ask me during the later rounds of the tournament of the challenge what if my land count was wrong, like if it was too high because I kind of floated last rounds as you will later see. But it's just a trade-off. So would you rather miss land drops or flood some amount of games? I think hitting this matchup is not winnable if you're like how you lose this match. You often say it is not hitting land drops or not being able to cast your spells. That's how you lose.
Yeah, I don't think I think ever since we went to 21 lands, it's been pretty much very good for us.
Yeah. Okay. Here I try glimpsing.
Also, Boseiju is kind of a spell anyway, so.
Yeah, I think I have more love for Boseiju than you do, guys. Okay, so this is an interesting play here. So I glimpse, and he also lets my glimpse and first creature resolve. So I choose to evoke on this spot. What do you think? Is this wrong, given that it's game one and we have only one endurance effect?
You're talking about two. What? Say that again.
So I'm evoking the endurance here.
What did you pitch there?
The collect roof.
Yeah, that's fine. I think given the glimpse resolve, I would make the same play.
Okay, can I do this?
Our opponent is playing very defensively because
probably he's fizzling on.
I don't think that's a winning line for our opponent, like Jax mentioned in the chat.
Yeah, hello Jax, by the way. So he's obviously flooded on lands. Like they're playing 5 lands. Yeah, something is going very wrong for our opponent.
But I think the thing I would do differently in this game one from you is I definitely would have probably used the Once Upon a Time to find more lands. And then
like aggressively?
I would have held Reclaimer up and then forced their hand, right? Like, well, it depends what they do too. But you also have the option to just once it. But I don't think the 1 damage is worth, having the Reclaimer down, essentially, if that makes sense.
So here, basically, I didn't want to rotate into I didn't want to use two Reclaimer activations to get a single cradle on. So since I find another ones, my thinking was, okay, so let's hold the same amount of mana, which is 2, the same as activating a Reclaimer, hoping to hit the cradle, and at least I get 6 damage in.
So you're saying hold the once. I actually think I would rather prefer, this is game one especially too, to play the Visionary there, right? Because you draw and you can still Once Upon a Time next turn.
Yeah, might be. And we have an active glimpse too.
Right.
Yeah, possibly. Anyways, between the lack of threats and our glimpse resolving, and his graveyard gone, he considered. I believe his hand is possible that it's like maybe 2 spells and a Murktide, because he was like banking on the graveyard quite a lot. But I think that endurance finished him off probably.
Yeah, it felt like our opponent was just playing scare.
Yeah, okay, so let's do replay 2.
But I definitely would have played the Visionary there.
All right.
For a few reasons. Right, it's game one. They don't have sweepers, and then also we progress our board, right? Like,
yeah. Actually, having the glimpse on, I think it incentivizes using the mana for creatures instead of spells, holding it up for once.
Yeah, like the endurance is almost free there, right?
Yeah, endurance. I think it was a no-brainer at that spot. But maybe the Once Upon a Time, as you said, it was a mistake, and it was better to just play the VCO. It's just 2 cards.
I think if it was post-board, I would probably take your play, but given that this pre-board, I think committing to the board is better.
Okay, so here we move to 6, and I think I bought, given this hand, I think it's probably bottom Symbiote. Yeah.
I would not do that.
Like as you said, right? Yeah, I think some players would bottom the Arbor, but hitting the land drop is so important that I think even a Summon Shake land, it's good enough for me to keep.
I think if it were me there, I would actually put the Arbor back because it's a land drop, but it's kind of tough, right? Because your second land is Boseiju, so I think your line is fine. I think if Boseiju was a fetch or basic, then I'd probably put the Arbor back.
Yeah. Okay, so here we ramp. We need mana. So early turns basically versus Delver, you want to establish mana, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't love keeping Arbor, but it's not the worst. Also, shout out to the ninjas community for
Yeah.
for the murderous
The
cat.
murderous cat, right? Yeah. Oops. So we
Wait,
did.
why?
Yeah, they days symbiote, and then they end the festivities are board only with 2 cards. So I think, given our hand, we can recover from that pretty easily.
No, you played it out exactly how I would have there.
So I think I'll mention it. I mean, I was not extremely at this point, but I was thinking, okay, so I rather like I want him to 2-for-1 me, like right now, you know, instead of committing to the board further and maybe running into trouble, right?
Did say that again, Inigo?
Sorry, yeah. So I rather have him end the festivities me as a 2-for-1 than rather the next turn or turn 4 or turn 5 or turn 4 or turn 5
Yeah. I agree. That
being
ends of
more
the stiffness is not that
advantageous for
bad.
him. Yeah.
No, especially since we drew off the vision.
Yeah. So
it's not a big
we have
deal.
more recover potential. Yeah.
Well, it's really a 2-for-2, right? Because the visionary drew a card already.
Okay, we get Bircher, which is a super good draw given that we have the cat in hand and no other black sauce. That's the first iteration. I think here I run the endurance into days. What do you think about the play?
I would definitely play the Birchlord first.
The Bircher first. So
right? Because
yeah.
Because you develop your board.
Yeah. So my read here was, I just will explain it. So maybe you can correct me. He already dazed us, and so he dazed the Wirewood earlier, and the previous turn 3, we played Vicio before making the land drop. So the Vicio already was being played in 2 days, and I think Vicio on this board is pretty like threatening for him. Like, you know, it represents recover it from us, right? So I think maybe okay. So I mean,
so the reason why I would leave with Birchlord there is because you get the mana back, right?
Yeah, but it also plays into another end, right? I don't know. I think I was pretty scared. So it ended up being forced. I think we are fine with that, especially post board and being 2-for-1.
I think the reason not to play the Birchlord there is if they have red open, because then they can bolt in response. But they're tapped out, and I don't think we play around Submerge here.
Okay, fair enough.
Right.
So would you?
So that would be my line.
Yeah.
If they had red open, then I think going with the endurance there is reasonable. But even then, like, we don't get super punished by playing the Birchlord, even if they have Submerge, because we can still play the Wirewood. It's not great, but then that means they can't submerge the endurance, right? Like later on. I personally think there, being that they tapped out, I would play the Birchlord and into the endurance. If they didn't tap out, then I think your line is fine.
Are you afraid at this point? Are you afraid of then making a land drop and recovering the end of festivities?
Oh, you talking about with Sanctuary?
Yes.
No, not really. We have Wirewood.
Yeah, but okay. So if we play Birchlord tap, Vicio, Birchlord, and play Endurance, yeah, okay. I mean, I guess it's the best use.
Keep in mind, like, if they end the festivities and one of the cards is a Visionary, it's really a 2-for-2, not a 2-for-1.
Yeah, because it has already drawn a card. Yeah, okay. Okay, so here comes the Murktide.
And it also pressures them more. Like they play the more defensively we make them play, the worse the matchup gets for them.
Yeah. Okay, so they play Murktide and the recovery and the festivities grow in the Murktide too. Pretty cool move.
So here the Murder's Cut looking really good actually.
Yeah. I mean, I think we discussed it yesterday, but I think the Murderous Cut looks better on the Delver matchup than the Snuff Out, given because of the life tax.
For sure, I agree.
Right.
So the thing here is like, given that we know they had to end the festivities. Oh wow! I can't believe they did that.
Me too. I was pretty surprised they 1-for-1.
I would, if I were them, I probably would have waited. But maybe they're scared of natural order or something. I don't know.
Okay, we get the land.
But I'm very surprised that they just did a 1-for-1 there. If I were the opponent, I'd probably just take a 2-for-1 because you don't want to wait too long.
Here I don't play around this because they are already hellbent, so we're working with perfect information.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think
the game, you want main phase. They're tapped out here.
Yeah, so as I said, we were working with perfect info. Well, this replay system is buggy. I just want to go on the VOD. It's so much like convenient. I think now the game is I bounce.
Can I see what you exiled, by the way?
Sorry?
Can I see what you exiled?
Can I see what you exiled? Yeah, I kept just lands, just as a possibility of a top deck reclaimer. So it was a big reclaimer.
Yeah. So of note here, in general, what comes up a lot or sometimes is we run out of lands. So sometimes, especially against control matches, where we endurance ourselves, so we can put arbors back in the deck.
Here I bounce preemptively.
It doesn't matter here though, but
yeah, here I bounce virtually just in case we top deck glimpse, just in case.
I think bouncing the Burst Lord there in case of a glimpse is fine. I think that's because they're hellbent. We have full information.
Yeah. I think here I bounce again.
Small nitpick, by the way.
Yeah.
Inigo.
Yes.
I probably would have morphed the Birch Lord there to play around end the festivities. Right. Because right there we would lose 2 creatures. If we morph Birch Lord, we only lose 1.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. Yeah, and it's free too because we have 4 mana, so we can morph and then flip it if need be. Yeah, absolutely. Small details. Okay, so he's trying to obviously fuel the graveyard. Probably that last card is a Murktide, or he's gonna look for one or preparing for one. Oh no, it's just to turn on DRC. Yeah, so they're gonna get the full blowout here.
No. They wanted to get the
Delirium online.
Sanctuary back.
Yeah, and Delirium.
That's the reason.
So here I'm aware of the Sanctuary and then the festivities. So I think here they took the greedy line because they didn't main phase the Sanctuary to get the end of festivities back up, and they tried to sneak in 3 damage, and that costed because now I can play the
you have a full blowout here.
Yeah, so I think this was a slight misplay from our opponent. I think it was like really him trying to crawl back into the game, but because he wanted to sneak the 3 damage in.
It just doesn't make any sense because they have 2 sorceries anyways, right? Even if they bounce it, they still can attack for 3.
Yeah. Yeah, so here
the other thing is this matchup is just really bad for them, I think, because they don't have Delver.
So here I was thinking maybe I maybe wanted to block with another 1/1 or bounce even, because I was quote unquote afraid of getting 1 damage into the endurance and getting bolted. But I was feeling so ahead that I finally decided on blocking with the endurance. I think the game is over like the following turn. We get a Reclaimer, is already big because we planned ahead and left our lands in the graveyard. Here, you usually recommend to keeping the endurance back as a defense, but since given that we have the given that we have the untap effect, I think it's free. Attack is free.
Yeah,
And
like I tend to be a little bit conservative when it comes to attacking with the endurance, but it's kind of free here. Where I would be a little bit more scared if we were lower in life, and maybe if we didn't really want to bounce one of our creatures. Like if, for instance, the board was just Wirewood, Endurance, and Reclaimer. I don't really want to bounce Reclaimer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so going forward, we will switch to the VOD because it's more convenient for everybody, I think. So we will go Opera. There we go. So yeah, I started the stream during round 2. And now it will be so much easier for us to play. Okay, so I get quite a good matchup. I got the DNT. Yeah. Do you see just fine?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Looks fine to me.
Is it 2x? Yeah. Yeah, 2x is fine. Okay, so I don't know what opponent is playing, so I lead on Heritage. Also, the hand, as you often like to say, is pretty speculative, right? It's we don't have any big thing going on. It's just a common glimpse hand, but I think it's enough for me to keep it.
I think it's actually quite good, right? Because if we draw a 1-drop, we can go kind of nuts in turn 2.
Yeah.
So Jack's kind of hinted at it, right? Like when it's Elves versus Delver in the current state. So here actually I would just play a Visionary off of basic and pass.
So fetch second basic with the Heath and okay.
Yeah, the reason being is that you set up for a turn 3 glimpse. Here, like you can still turn 3, but it's not as good.
No, it's not. Well, we get rewarded, right?
But right. They got scared, but then like I think if they have Wasteland, it's kind of bad for us, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to point out something at this point is what I'm scared of Wasteland, but I think I'm even more scared about because we have some land drops already to make, and I want upon a time to try to find the extra cradle if need be. What I'm afraid is turn 2 Spirit of the Labyrinth that completely shuts down our hand because this hand is 100% glimpse reliant. So if we don't get to cast the glimpse, this hand is pretty much dead.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, like with your line there, I don't know if the glimpse would have drawn more than one card though, right? Like we already would have played the Visionary anyway, so that wouldn't get stranded. But going back to what Jack said, unfortunately the Delver Elves matchup right now is essentially up to the Elves player. Like if we have to play pretty much perfectly, and their decisions don't really matter. Like they can cast spells, and for the most part, doesn't change the game for the most. But for us, it matters a lot.
Okay. Yeah, yes. I was just trying to bring in the chat because I think there are some pretty good, interesting conversations coming up on chat, and I want them to keep registered on the VOD if someone gets to see the VOD later. Thank you, Fox. Okay, so here I'm just glimpsing off, trying to maximize my mana.
But yeah, I mentioned this before. At the current state of the Elves Delver matchup, the Delver player is often just casting spells at random.
Yeah, I think some merit after watching the Baku play his challenge. I think they have some bottleneck turns where they have to be really precise with their decisions. But at some point,
I would say that's accurate in the mid game. Yeah.
Yeah, but at some points, after some certain bottleneck point, they can do just whatever.
Right. Or the first few turns they can do whatever, and then the end game they can do whatever. But the mid game bottleneck, I would agree.
Yeah. Yeah, Jax. So holding Boseiju here, This is something I mentioned on our chat earlier yesterday. So I'm thinking maybe how I lose is a Jite or a Spirit. So I'm like delaying this land drop as much as possible, right? So I don't think I would actively miss a land drop. I mean, given this board, probably yes, because we already have so much mana production Elves plus active Cradle. But what you said, right? Boseiju here is like a main deck answer to all the relevant threats, which is Spirit.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't like hold it if you only have 2 lands, but I think here it's like definitely a premium card in the matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And free, right? Because we're main decking it. Feels like a sideboard card built in on our main deck.
Exactly. And get through mob too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Okay, so what the violin here? Or is it a fake violin? Don't remember. For 3? What was it? Oh, a Skyclave, sure. I mean, mana is not an issue for us, so.
No, I think this matchup, I used to see people say, especially some D&T players, that they are happy to see the Reclaimer build. I think maybe the opponent that they played against is less experienced or whatnot, but I think Reclaimer is very good in this matchup because it means we have Cradle at all times.
Yeah. Okay, so here I start to be a little worried because D&T going into the mid game is pretty strong, and they already have Kaldra assembled. So I'm just, at this point in the stream, I am like praying for an action card, be Natural Order, Green Sun, or Once Upon a Time. Because they can get really... Okay, so here I think this is one of the first bans on the challenge. Actually, yes, Cloud, I like the third Boseiju, but that's just me. I know Newton is happy with 2. I like the card just a lot. Yeah, so...
No, I used to play 3 as well, for those who are curious. I just like am relying on black more than Inigo is at the moment. So that's also why I just want consistent mana.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Newton values... Like, Newton's first law is, I think, mana. Mana has to be perfect.
Yeah, so a lot of my good friends, Inigo, Levi, have all joked with me. Newton, your mana base is too conservative. We can push it more.
Yeah, actually, you are right here, Jax. I think I misplayed, and also here I'm considering Boseiju in the vial because they have 3 mana up now, and they could put Jorion into hand and play Jorion right away. And that would mean like -2 cards for us because they bounce solid. They could be bouncing the Solitude next turn and the Skyclave. But as it happens, they are violating Solitude. So here I'm pretty worried. And yes, I should have thinned before the Reclaimer got exiled.
Yeah, the thinning surprisingly matters a lot.
Yeah.
In our deck, especially since we have a higher land count than like say the traditional build.
Yeah, actually, on our last stream together, Newton, on the last stream you tuned in, I think I lost that every matchup because not thinning, right? I drew like 3 blanks in a row. I have the option to thin and I didn't. So yeah.
Yeah, the number of decisions like Jax mentioned with this deck is just a lot.
Okay,
let me just forget, right?
Let me pause it for a moment. We have a question from Baku. Says, let's take the opportunity that we have, fellow Newton. Don't you think deck misses a good land to be searched with Reclaimer? I feel there are spots when you want to get card advantage via searching with Reclaimer, but you just can't search for a man land or something like that. Yeah, so Baku actually asked me this question the day we were he was letting me co-pilot with him. So what do you think about that, Newton?
It's funny that Baku mentioned that because I think there's definitely some spots where like Lair of the Hydra is missed. The problem is the deck really cannot afford, in my opinion, to cut black, right? Like I think one of the reasons why Elves is well positioned at the moment is because I think besides Delver and besides maybe like some of the Chalice decks, either Moon Stompy or Acast, I think besides those 2 decks or 3 archetypes, right? Elves has the best combo matchup right now, and it's because of discard. So with that said, and I think Boseiju is just too good not to play. There is an argument to be made, and I know Inigo probably will not like this, but I thought about recently playing just one Boseiju and playing the Lair of the Hydra again. But I think in most circumstances we would have drawn the natural order or the shepherd to kill or green sun to kill, right? Like a lot of my kills are just beat down, and I don't actually have like a dedicated win con, and I think I'm okay with that for now. But Lair of the Hydra is definitely playable.
Yeah. I mean, its reign was too short.
It was.
Yeah. Okay, so here
it's unfortunate because when we started playing it, right after Baseju got printed, so
yeah, right before it. Yeah, so here I just sandbagging the cradle and I top deck Green Sun. So that's GG.
To be fair, Legacy Council, I think Shepherd is a little bit overrated, like as a card. But that's me personally.
Yeah. Okay. So
and the reason why is so bad against some of the creature decks.
I don't think we need to go through sideboarding on DNT, but I think it's pretty okay. So what I do, yeah. So I don't put in Murderous Cut because it fits off the graveyard, and they really have more exile effects than usual that standard removal.
I think Cut is really good on Inigo. Because I'm running 2 Cut and 1 Snuff Out right now. I just bring in all 3 because what ends up happening is the game goes late, and usually by then there's like Wasteland, and then you have a Reclaimer to actually increase your yard as well. So for the most, and you have Green Sun, not Green Sun, Glimpse of Nature and whatnot, and then I found the Murderous Cut to be pretty consistent.
Yeah, I think I'm just getting the feel of it still, and I am just too afraid. Like, okay, so the way I see it is, I am very afraid of not drawing my removals, or rather, drawing them and not being able to cast them. So for the moment, that's the reason I'm running 2 Snuff, 1 Murderous Cut. Although I completely agree that Murderous Cut is far superior on the Delver matchup. Like for life, it's probably 1, if not 2 turns more that you can be alive.
I think you not bringing in Murderous Cut in this matchup is not a big deal because you have 2 copies of Snuff Out for this event. But in general, I think the Cut is still good as a heads up.
Okay. So I keep a pretty bad hand. Like I think this is as speculative as it gets.
Yeah, I probably would have gone a 5. That hand is really bad, Inigo.
I think going to 5 for me feels like already losing. I
know, but that is essentially a 5 anyways, right? Like your Glimpse doesn't do anything for a while. You have like too many lands.
Yeah, I just draw good after the top deck.
I would not have fired the Glimpse, by the way, but it's kind of lucky that you drew a creature.
Yeah, twice, right? For the turn and of the first Glimpse.
Yeah. I probably would not have personally played the Glimpse there with only 1 creature. So we're drawn quite well here.
Yeah, very good. As I said, I don't think I've made it that far in the tournament if it was not for with some amount of luck.
Interestingly enough here, I think your sequencing could have been a little bit better. I know we went through kind of fast.
Let's go. No, yeah,
I think you want them to try to equip first and then blow them out with Sergio.
Okay, let's see at what point do you decide to do that. Is it at the end of the Glimpse chain? So I float 5 once, find Reclaimer, play Reclaimer. Okay, so here actually I made a slight misplay, I think. So what I wanted to do here is actually not play the Reclaimer.
Let's go back. That was the misplay right now. It's because you floated 6 mana when you didn't have to, Inigo.
Okay, yeah. So that's one of my biggest mistakes for you that you guys who don't know, and you don't always point it out. So I want to really go slow down and try to find it. Okay, so I do this.
Right there. So go back a little bit more.
Okay, let's just do it slower. I'm sorry, guys, on the chat. I'm not reading right now. I'm trying to focus on learning my mistake here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm playing it at normal speed now. So this mana adding was wrong?
No, it's still fine. That's still fine. So that's the mistake right here.
Okay.
Like
Playing.
you don't need to. You
Yeah.
don't need to want. You don't need to float 3 mana there to cast Once Upon a Time. You already have 3 floating.
Sure. Okay.
So the reason why that's a mistake is you don't have 3 mana up. What you really want to happen is your opponent to equip GTA to Stoneforge, or actually even burn a removal spell, right? On your Wirewood, and then as they equip you, you completely blow them out with Boseiju.
Okay, I see it now. So, vale. I was just not catching you. So your line would be keep the 3 up so we can instant speed Boseiju on their turn after they use the mana to equip and connect. And try to connect.
Correct. So
Okay.
essentially, what that does is if they have a Solitude in hand or even a Swords to Plowshares, they're going to be incentivized to take your Wirewood off the board so they can connect with GTA, and it's a complete blowout.
Yeah.
Like you get instant speed removal essentially in this case.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But because you tapped out, yeah, it's only sorcery speed. And so,
Yeah.
So Jax knows what I'm talking about. Essentially, it's game over because we just time walked them.
Yeah. So you make him spend the whole turn to equip, and you know it's gonna make them no good.
Or even worse, not only do they equip, maybe they burn a Solitude just to try to force the GTA over, and then they just get completely blown out.
Okay. So what I realized here after the slight mistake of floating another 3 and finding the Reclaimer is so I was kind of scared of them having a Wasteland up again. So I said right after I played the Reclaimer, I said, oh, maybe I shouldn't have played the Reclaimer and with 4 mana up, just blown the Waste and the GT. I mean, once I already did the first mistake of tapping the 3 Elves, right?
Yeah, I think Inigo, that is something I think you have to correct because you will lose games because of this. Like there's no reason to float the mana there.
Okay, so York also pointing it out. Okay. All right, lesson learned.
But we'll improve on that.
Yeah. I mean, we're here to learn. I am not afraid of showing off my mistakes. That is fine for me.
But I think you did do one thing that is good there. You did take out the GTA off the board since you wouldn't get the chance to otherwise. So I do like that play after we've already
kind of last moment course correction.
Sure, it's better to adjust after the mistake than just not adjust at all.
Is it on high speed? Okay, so they get Caldra here, I think.
They even have the sword, right? Like.
Yeah, we have another. So we have, I think, like we have everything. We have to just draw like a payoff. I think we do next turn, and that's game. If you see, okay, so this right here is me trying to click the spell before paying the mana, trying to, as you often tell me to do, not float the mana. So you see, I'm going to first float it, then pay next turn.
Yeah, we gotta work on that, Inigo.
Yeah, and then I'm coming. No, but then I'm coming back, and then I'm coming back. I'm doing it correctly, yes, because I know you're going to eventually see this. So you.
I think it's not even. I know you know the right play. I think it's a nervous habit that you do that manually. If that makes sense. Like I don't think you think about it.
Yeah, I think it's just something when it's something like you've been doing for so long, it's hard. It's hard to break bad habits.
It's just like smoking cigarettes, right? It's just a habit you develop, and you're just trying to remove it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so here we're playing a little bit of drawing game in between rounds, and this is next round, which is I think this was Moon Stompy. Here I make a big mistake game 2. So I could have gone 2-0 in this match, and I go 2-1 because I will spoil it for you. I know my opponent is on Moon Stompy, and I don't get Basic Forest turn 1 when I could have.
Yeah, that is a cardinal sin.
But that is absolutely on chat's fault. I was like answering stuff in chat. Okay, thank you for coming by, Argan, and thank you for your nice message on Twitter. I appreciate it. Okay, so at this point, I still don't know what they're on because like Tomb into Chalice could be anything. After the play the 3-ball, like we kind of know what they're on. And here I go on to get Arbor off the fetch, but that could be a mistake, right? Could be like blown out.
I probably would not get Arbor off the bench.
No?
Because they could have Wasteland, they could have Moon whatever.
But like here,
as a general thumb,
yes?
I mean, you kind of already know this from the Delver matchup. You kind of want to protect your mana.
I think here, I guess here I'm banking more on the forest, but yeah, I think I should have been more careful, because if I get my board blown out, it's hard for me to rebuild, given that Cradle
it sets us back a lot.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Wait, what? Did you just misclick?
No, what happened? Oh, I was just tunnel visioning into BFF. Again, I told you, chat. So I run a symbiote into Chalice right there. Yeah.
No, also I just remembered you don't have Progenitus main deck.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't cast Natural Order.
You were thinking right away about Natural Progenitus, playing Progenitus right away, right?
Yeah. So, but I just remembered you don't have Progenitus in your main deck right now. So that's okay.
Look away, Jax. Look away. I told you guys there will be some mistakes on the run. My God. So I literally forget. I have the Shepherd here. Like if you watch the actual VOD with my boys, yeah, I was pretty mad about that mistake. But yeah, our hand is like, I don't know.
The other thing that I'd like to mention actually with Jax here right now is I don't think it is like out of the realm that, and Jax is the first person to mention this to me, that I don't think it's out of the realm for Glimpse of Nature to be necessarily in the deck in the future, depending what gets printed.
I want to say once during one stream I tried a glimpseless version, and I got all the Elf Discord attacking me live.
Well, I think right now it's still better than every option that we have, but I can see a scenario where, like, because it's oftentimes it's just an Ancestor Recall, which I guess is still good enough, right? But like if they print something really crazy, like there's not much else we can cut from the deck. The deck is like all good cards now, right?
Yeah, maybe reducing some copies. So actually, Rodrigo suggested me that maybe one glimpse could be the next cut, like reducing the glimpse amount to 3. So he suggested.
Yeah, I have been thinking about going to 3 glimpse as well, because you don't really want to draw 2.
Yeah. Okay, I will just speed it up a little bit.
I think like has a good point there.
Yeah. He often jokes that we're no longer playing an elf deck. We are playing a mid-range control.
Yeah, it's really.
He's not
wrong.
They
talk about blue soup. This is like green soup.
Okay, so here must be my mistake, right? So I'm leading with Boseiju. I was completely distracted at this point. There's no reason whatsoever.
What did you put back?
Don't remember. Natural Order here, because I don't have enough way to get to it. So
wait, did you have 2 naturals in your opening 7?
Sorry?
What did you put on the bottom? I didn't see it.
Is it an order or a Visio? I don't remember. Oh no, second Visio. It is. Which is actually maybe wrong.
I think given this...
I mean, this keep is pretty sketchy. Because it's 2 Boseiju,
I think given this hand, I might have put back actually the natural order.
Yeah. After showing the 6, I think I would too. But yeah, maybe... Yeah. Actually, you are right, because having 3 elves is actually 3 green. But yeah,
Two Boseiju is really bad.
Yeah, 2 Boseiju here really hurting us. But yeah, in this game is lost the moment I play.
I probably would have molded this hand, to be honest.
Down to 5 again?
Actually, it's close, but it's like not great. This hand's like really sketchy.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we might as well pass. Okay, so we don't have to watch this.
So
this is the insta punish for not missing. So for you guys out there, always lead on forest, especially if you already know you're playing against Moon Stompy and there's no like there's no actually zero reasons to lead on Boseiju. So yeah, I will just pass. Actually,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just played for a few turns, like see what I top deck. If I top deck forest, like if a miracle happened, but it just doesn't happen, and I just scoop it up.
Yeah, this is one of the worst feelings I think for us.
Yeah, so yeah, we don't want to see that.
I think we can go to game 3. This is not very interesting.
No.
I've been on these board states. What ends up happening is they eventually find a creature and they kill us.
Yeah, exactly. Is it playing?
Sometimes we get lucky though, and we draw the forest naturally, but not easy.
Yeah, no. And of course, like the forest ratio to lands is quite low, as we are playing only 2 basics. So that is actually banking too much in luck. And the mistake wasn't even forced. Like we did it on our own. I did it on my own. So I chose to play the Poseidon instead of the fetch for no reason. So that's what I meant earlier. That loss could have been prevented. Okay, so opponent here moving on into 5. So I think as an overall, okay, so here finally I fetch for the forest. Lesson learned. My God. On this run, I think I played more sloppy against quote unquote the easier decks, and I played more tight against the Delver decks. I think because I was I was so focused on playing good Delver games. So yeah, I mean these mistakes are obviously I know I have to play the forest. I just was distracted, but I think the Delver games I played much more tight.
Actually, your board is quite good here.
I ended up 3rd, Mike. So pretty lucky. Are they waiting? Oh, I am thinking here.
Agreed, Jax. The hand that you kept was really bad.
Really, yeah. But I just
game 2.
I cannot go to 5. I'm sorry. I think I will keep almost any 6. Here, probably I should have rotated the Boseiju for something more useful.
Yeah, I probably will rotate the Boseiju here, Inigo, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, let me pause it.
Actually, you want to take a guess why? There's really 2 reasons.
Let me. Okay, so first reason, deck thinning.
Yeah, the second reason is also if we draw the Boseiju, we want to actually be able to not have to legend roll ourselves if it comes to that.
Okay. What would you get? Dryad or Bayou?
This board state, probably like a fetch.
Yeah, so fetch. Yeah.
Because I don't think we're going to kill the Magus
No, actually we can't. I mean,
we can, but I don't think... we could get a Cradle. Also, that would be better than the Boseiju. if you think you can kill the Magus, I would personally probably just get a fetch there. So Baku, the reason why he didn't do that is because in general, if your opponent didn't play the Magus, untapping with a Cradle is just completely... The game is completely different, Baku.
Yeah, also given our hand, right? We have 2 more 3/4s.
Like I cannot stress how big it is to untap with a Cradle and not. Like a lot of times, I mean Inigo knows this, but like our turn 2 play is just Reclaimer pass because we just want to get Cradle. Like
yeah. So sometimes you will devote a whole turn just to get the Cradle. That's how powerful that card is, right?
I mean, I get what Baku's saying too. Like we have a very fast clock, so that's like a reasonable thing to do. I like that's probably the second best line where you attack with both Reclaimer and then play Endurance, like he said. I think it's reasonable. Like I'm usually too much of a control player to think like that.
Okay, here we get 8 cast, which should be the buy, but funny enough, I think I lose game 1 or game 2.
Usually our losses are due to Saga, and we have a slow hand.
I don't remember. I played 8 cast twice, and I think the second opponent had the speared explosives hand, and that's one game I dropped.
In game 1?
No, I think what game 2. It was not this opponent though. It was the following. So that I mulliganed that hand.
Yeah, I would mulligan this hand.
I at the time I didn't know what this person was on.
So Inigo, you have to mulligan that second hand as well.
I don't remember if I actually mulliganed it.
No, it looks like you kept.
Okay, let's see. So we shipped this. This was the Once Upon a Time game. I think so. Say it right, yeah. Okay, wait. I'm talking things. Yeah.
Do I think I just saw you keep that 6, and I don't. You cannot keep that 6. You don't have a second land.
Okay, so here, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is what Sadra is telling. Yeah. So
you cannot keep that.
Here, our opponent foes the Once Upon a Time blindly, and I'm just game out because of that. What you said, right? Because of keeping this.
So the reason why is even if your opponent didn't force, like even if the Once Upon a Time hits, right? We don't have a second land.
Yeah, but again, going to 5.
No, Inigo. You have to go to 5. Then you cannot keep that 6. Like the Gris is dead as well. So like you're already virtually at 5.
Yeah, so missing land. I at this point I am a little tilted because I couldn't understand how you would force Once Upon a Time on the blind.
People do strange things. I just
yeah, but when you are streaming and these things happen, you get a little bit bugged.
Yeah.
A good 5 is better than a terrible 6. I agree, Jax. But
yeah. So I think the big takeaway so far, Inigo is. I mean, one thing you already know that's the flowing the man. I think that's something you will naturally improve on, as you play more. But I think so far, based on this, watching this,
yes,
is I think don't mulligan as much as you probably should, based on what I've seen.
Yeah,
and this is a mistake that I used to have. I used to make a lot.
To be honest,
I only kind of corrected it recently.
Yeah, but to be honest, that would be like going backwards for me because, back at the time, I would used to mulligan too aggressively. And then I think that was after the influence of watching a lot of Julian. Shout out to him and you also. That I think you are both two of the more conservative elf pilots regarding keeping hands.
Agreed.
I just went to the opposite pole, let's say. So now I would just keep maybe border unplayable hands sometimes.
Yeah, I think for that, Inigo, I think you probably skew too much in the opposite direction now, right? Like, I think it's like somewhere in between, right? I think even I probably did not mulligan aggressively, or at least not enough before, and it's something I've worked on recently. So I think, at least from what I've seen, you probably got that bad habit from me, where you keep really sketchy 6s because you don't want to go to 5.
Yeah, I think the sweet spot is somewhere in between. So yeah, okay. So yeah, I will just fast forward this. I just I never get through past the chalice. I think it's, as Sadra said on the stream, it's a good testament to the deck that we kept playing through turn 7 after 3 missing land drops for so many turns. How good the deck is, but yeah, we basically throw it by deciding on a bad keep and missing the land drop for so many turns.
The game was lost on the mulligan.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay. So here feels like we are like pre-boarded almost. And this is an awesome opener.
Yeah, we're almost pre-boarded against them.
Yeah, I mean, especially me, right, with the triple Poseidon. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So here
thing is, like, I want to point out, since we're gonna probably play Caracas in the future. I'm already playing, but I know Inigo is probably gonna play in the future because of the mono black depths.
Yeah,
I actually like that better than Bog because it's a permanent answer to Emery. And if they play, I had this happen to me, but if they play explosives, then we're really gonna be happy we had the Caracas.
Yeah, because they cannot recur, right? Yeah.
Right. Because they cannot recur. Right.
Okay, so here this is another interesting point on the game. So here I have a choice: either play Cradle and go for the Collector Roof and lock one card from my opponent, or rather Green Sun for Shepherd and unlock my deck. Right. I spent a few seconds putting a thought into this, and finally I decide I'd rather play my deck than shut down one card from my opponent.
That is what I would do on this board state as well, because two reasons. One, it's one less mana to Green Sun for one, so if they force it, you can bog. And number two, I think you're just gonna drop your whole deck if Green Sun for one resolves.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this play would be, it's a play that I would not have done in the past. Like maybe I would be too scared about just because I know the Oof is such a lock piece for them, right?
It is, but they actually have more outs to it now than they did before.
Yeah, I mean they know it's game for them. So yeah, so as you predicted, we draw a lot of cards. Quite a lot.
It's because we have everything aligned, right? We have the Glimpse, we have the Heritage, and we have the Cradle.
Yeah, and we also end up taking the Collector Roof at safety. We keep a Green Sun to finish off the game, and that's the... Yeah, so I guess that decision there was pretty important there because... Yeah, you know, I think a younger Inigo would have gotten the Oof. And this game is actually...
I think you played that well there, Inigo.
Thank you. So I think this game was pretty hard. You're going to see. We get a lot of removal, and I think a little bit awkward from our opponent. I don't know if this person knows the matchup quite good, because he fires the removal pretty aggressively, I would say. So, yeah.
I think from their perspective, I don't really blame them for firing removal aggressively, because the way that they had to beat us, they had to kind of take risks, right? Like, the matchup is so bad for them otherwise.
So that dismember, usually I think they should save for either Shepherd
I
or
would have done it
Oofs.
turn one, but I definitely turn two I would have potentially done it.
Yeah, makes no sense, right? Because turn two is where we can go for Oof or
whatever, right?
or Shepherd backup.
Right. I think I wouldn't have done it in turn one, right?
So here I'm already surprised. They already used two dismembers. So I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? What do they have? What are they preventing? So my read here is just they want to unpower the Cradle. That's my read here.
Mm-hmm. I think they are just casting spells whenever they can, because I think they're playing a little bit scared, is my read. Also, with that, it makes sense, right? Because they want to be able to just tap out. So they want to use their mana efficiently on their first few turns. But now they've kind of locked themselves, right?
I mean, that Kappa is not going to be able to close the game fast enough.
No, agreed.
So Kappa, I think Kappa is a very good finisher against other decks, but not against us, because we have that super strong combo potential. Like we are threatening from turn 3+.
It usually needs to attack 2 to 3 times, and that's usually not fast enough.
Yeah. So I think here I glimpse.
Fire the glimpse, right?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking here. Since we can't.
You fire the glimpse, play the land, play the Birch Lord, play the Visionary, and probably draw a third card off one of those.
Well, as you said, right?
Yeah, so this is a pretty nice value glimpse, right? We got a Ancestral Recall.
Yeah. Actually, Ancestral Recall +1 from Vizio, so pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't count the Vizio because that's its own draw, right? It's not because of the glimpse.
Yeah. Okay, so here we have the kill. Oh no, we don't. Wait, Hoof is in hand. So actually, Natural Order Hoof biting me here, not running the second Natural Order copy.
No, you have to kill him.
But I think here is actually how to say. I am not missing the second natural order copy because I think being the fact that your whole main deck is castable is so good. Feels very good. Like you don't have dead hands, right? Basically.
Yeah, no. Yes. So yeah, it's mentioned in the chat. You have the kill.
Yeah. Okay. Next match. Okay, here we will draw in more cards. Having a good time in between rounds. Oh, look at this.
I think one of the reasons why 8-cast is not like super broken in the meta is because of us.
Yeah, but actually, I'm surprised. 8cast has such a. If you want, we can have a glimpse at the meta of this event. But it had a pretty good representation, right, on the event. So I mean, it was pretty.
I think it's because it's fairly straightforward to play, and it has like good combo matchups, and like a decent Delver matchup is the reason.
Yeah, I would agree to that. Yeah. So here I don't know what we're playing against, but spoiler: this is the Saga Depth's opponent, and the pant I make here is during a Saga uptick. During a Saga uptick, I think I get a reclaimer. Yeah. During a Saga uptick, I don't fetch, and I miss lethal because of that. I think. So this loss could have been prevented. Definitely. Okay, so I'm just talking through my line. I talk too much. I'm sorry, guys.
I do like that you led with Wooded Foothills because technically you could be on lands.
Oh.
Like, there's no Misty Rainforest deck here that right now, at least, that plays Reclaimer.
Mm-hmm. So after Black and Reclaimer, I know what they're done. So I think here what I want is like the hand is geared into a Dino Bash kill. Oh yeah, so this is yesterday when you were asking about the sideboarding against this deck. So they don't run a Shijiri step, so Endurance buys you a whole turn. So I think that should be into our radar, right?
I don't know if I like that, to be honest. You missed the damage right there, by the way.
I missed the what? Sorry.
You missed 1 point of damage. You tapped wrong. You didn't tap the Shepherd for the Endurance.
Oh. All right, but I couldn't have attacked, right? Oh no, because they played the Vampire. Yeah. Okay, you're right. So I could have tapped the Shepherd instead of the Reclaimer and attacked with Reclaimer.
Yeah, you missed a point of damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so you should fetch here.
I'm thinking about bouncing.
I think on this board state, yeah, probably.
Because we have lethal even if we bounce. If we found Cradle of the Top, we have 1 lethal attempt on lethal attack by Dino Bashing. So here the attack we're gonna block with the Endurance. We're gonna find the Cradle and I think we kill them, and then I lose the other games. If I recall correctly. Okay, let's make it fast forward. I don't think why they're playing so slow. Okay, the attack. So the attack with the Mud Ledge, we block with the Endurance. Duress again for nothing, and
the one thing that Endurance does, I do like about keeping it in is it could buy us a turn to just find Caracas too, which is relevant.
I mean, so that's exactly what happens here. So my Reclaimer is locked under Needle, so I just have enough mana to do everything right. So blow up the Needle, activating my.
Yeah, they get the Cradle right.
Yeah, so they just snap concede after that.
I'm gonna use the joke from Jonathan Zhang. Imagine if that Reclaimer was an Nettle Sentinel.
Yeah. Pretty good 2/2 not untapping. Okay, so here let's see how I sideboarded. I don't actually remember. I think I want I go for a Turbo Depth approach. So that is... so funny enough, I removed the endurance and I regret it later. Because
I think I would keep in, now that we know what their deck looks like, I think I would keep in Gris as removal.
Yeah, you would? Because of the Saga Shadow Spear
No,
lines?
because of Agent.
Because of, sorry?
Of Agent and Engineer.
Yeah. At this point, I didn't know they were on Agent.
We didn't know though, right? So we don't know what their list looks like, so.
I mean, I don't, like, if I have played against the person because it's on my spreadsheet, I will play accordingly, knowing what they're on. But I don't what I don't do, not on events, not on leagues.
I would roll that hand, by the way.
I never like Google my opponent's exact deck list. I don't do that. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair, and I don't think it's good for my play. Yeah, I go back and... So you said you will mold this?
Yeah. Your hand has 2 blanks. Like, go back to your opening hand. Like, the Arbor is bad, and then the Glimpse is bad here. Right?
The Arbor
like, you get 2 cards that don't do anything.
Yeah, I think what I thought was their deck was not that fast, and I could have just produce a fast natural order kill. But yeah, maybe you're right. Like, to be honest, I don't hate the hand that much. But
I think seeing this also makes me like even more certain that I want to board out Glimpse of Nature in this matchup, because we really want to play Thought on 1, and it just lined up really poorly for Glimpse.
Yeah, because we can't ramp turn 1, right? Right?
Because what?
Because we shouldn't be ramping turn 1. We should be Thought Seizing turn 1.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a good way to plan ahead on how do we want to sideboard, or how do we want to hedge a matchup, which is what do we want to be doing on turn X, and decide based on that.
Even that, like, even ignoring that for a second, I would not have kept your hand, because, like I said, you can't cast Glimpse for a while, and the Arbor is dead. So you're already essentially on a mode of 5.
Yeah, so I'm just checking for endurance right there. Funny enough. So actually, that's what I brought the point to you, because I actually missed it after boarding it out. Kind of missed it, rather.
Wait, what do you mean?
I sided out the 1 copy of the main.
Sure, but why would endurance matter here?
Because it buys me 1 turn to make 1 more land drop and make the lethal natural order. So
yeah, but that also...
We know they have... Okay. Yeah, let me pause it.
You're right there. That's a mistake, by the way.
Okay, wait. Okay, so wait. So I said that because we know they have Thespians, right? So that's why we know we were...
No, go back. You made a mistake.
Here?
It's how you floated the mana.
Okay, that's what I need to hear. Okay, so I will play it on X1 speed.
So essentially, you don't need to tap the Bayou to cast the Visionary.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You cast the Glimpse, which is fine, and then you cast the Visionary, but then you floated 3 mana when the Cradle pays for the Visionary already.
But I get what you mean. Yeah, I don't know why I do that. That's like...
I think it's just habit, to be honest, Inigo.
No, but I think I definitely have to fix that. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, right? The only thing I can say is I was like secured to use the mana because we had the bounce, but yeah, even that way, there's no reason to sequence it wrongly. It only hurts my habit.
The punish, there's a couple of punish, Inigo.
Top deck
if this was a deck of blue, if they force your Visionary, you wasted a mana for no reason. And number 2, against this deck, if they have removal, you just wasted a mana, right?
Okay.
Like,
yeah. Okay.
Like, let's just say we draw Murderous Cut or something, right?
Yeah. Anything you want to be casting.
Right. Anything you want to be casting on instant speed. Suddenly, you can't do that anymore.
No. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I definitely have to improve on these things, right? Because they are so free, right? There's like There's nothing. There's not related to the knowledge of the deck or.
And to be honest, it's like just I think a habit that you have.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah. Okay, so I think here we're pretty dead because. So funny enough, here you mentioned about their fast starts and that ritual, but here if you notice, they use that ritual to pump extra copies of constructs on turns where they wouldn't have had the mana. And funny enough, this is just enough for them to dodge lethal, because here I identify that they don't have lethal, so I try to go wider because I still have the land drop from the second cradle, right? So I have like the first usage of cradle, it's free. So okay, so you're gonna see. I think I try to even natural ordering for symbiote or something at some point. So I make the count and I make the math, and I know I don't have the.
Did you keep Progenitus in? I didn't see.
No.
Okay.
I don't think it's good here. So I just try to go wide and produce enough power to kill them past the Marit Ledge and the tokens, but it's just not enough. And here I spend a few seconds deciding what to get. So I redo the math a couple of times. I realize it's not enough. Again, because of the two blockers, so they look like they're anemic, but they actually can survive because of these two, because Hoof here, so here at this board state, I can play Cradle, play Natural Order, that would be +6/+6, so that would be 3 7/7s attacking plus the Hoof itself. If they wouldn't have had the tokens, it would be lethal past the Marit Ledge. But
that's a good point, Inigo.
Yeah. So I say, okay, so I have to I try to play to my outs here and just go get a symbiote. I know it's crazy, but I think it's the only thing I can do at this point. So I fire the glimpse, getting the extra bounce, and try to get. I am rewarded with a second natural order, but now I don't have enough untapped attackers and I lose. But I think it was an interesting game, and it highlights the importance of those extra blockers, right? Those extra 6 power really.
Did you bounce? I didn't see earlier. I didn't catch. Did you bounce the Visionary on their end step? It might be correct not to. Because you need the attacker, but it's hard. You have to like guess.
Yeah, that I think that's too far fetched for my vision. Okay, so
you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
No, but that's why we do reviews, right? So we can if I am presented a similar board state later on, I can take better decisions.
Yeah, you made the correct play. I would not have bounced too, which is correct.
Yeah, that's something I'm slowly working on as well, because you often say that's something more young, inexperienced elf pilot would make that mistake.
Hold on. I think I just caught a mistake. Go back.
On the sideboarding?
I think I might have just caught a mistake. I think you green sun for the heritage there, right?
Yes.
I think if you had tapped a little bit differently, you might have had lethal.
Okay, let's check it out. Yeah, let me just play it slowly. By the way, Newton, I know I am okay on time, but just let me know if you're running short, because I don't really want to.
Yeah, I think I probably in 45 minutes or so. I have to probably get ready to go somewhere, but
okay.
Right now it's okay.
Okay, all right.
So I think the first thing here is you probably want to play the Visionary off the Arbor and pause it for a second. I think you want to play the Visionary off the Arbor and the Bayou. Yeah, the reason being is because you have the untap from the Wirewood already, so you +1 mana.
Right.
That's number one.
Yeah, right. Because then you tap the Cradle, get the mana back
again. You tap the Cradle after, right?
And you tap the Arbor.
You can also, and I know we want to attack with the Arbor, but you have the Wirewood to untap it already. And I think from here, if you actually green sun for, let me see. So you played this. You would have 1 extra mana, and then I think you could green sun for a Wirewood, and that's actually lethal with natural order.
But I think like the maximum attackers, I have the maximum attackers, right? Because the maximum attackers would be three unsummon shake creatures plus the hoof, and that.
No. I think what I mean by that is I think if you had done it a little bit differently, the green sun here can get a wirewood.
Yes.
And then you potentially can have a visionary bounce and maybe draw into the extra creature you need for lethal. Instead of getting heritage. Because you have a second cradle, right?
Yeah, I think I was feeling a little bit mana constricted here. Like I wanted to maximize my second cradle. That's maybe something.
The thing though is like the thing is like you don't actually do anything with the heritage, right?
You don't actually anything. Yeah, I tapped there for 3, right? So those 3 mana.
Okay, so you tapped it for 3, and then you bounce, untap, and play the visionary again.
Yeah, so I get the extra draw you would get from the other Visio.
But I think if you had sequenced it a little bit differently, you might have been able to, instead of using the heritage, get a Warwood instead, and then untap that way, and hopefully draw into another creature that gives you lethal with natural order.
Yeah, but would we have enough mana to do this? I don't think so, because you would be at -3 right now.
Right, but we lost one. Keep in mind from sequencing the first play wrong. From the first vision.
Yeah, because the cradle tap for 1 less. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Man,
so
this deck is so like anybody who says playing elves is trivial, man. come and demonstrate, right? I mean, this deck is something.
So you see what I'm saying, right? I think I mean, we could have missed off the visionary, but I think you give yourself a chance to have
no, absolutely. At this point where when you have identified you need the critical mass of creatures to win, you have to maximize your draws. I agree to that, and your mana, but by the same reason.
So yeah. I think we could have given ourselves potentially a chance to take a different line if we had played the visionary off the bayou.
Yeah, agree to that. I guess I tunnel visioned into heritage, making mana for me.
No, I don't blame you. Like it's all right. We can go to the next game, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So at this point, I don't make enough. So this game I punted again. Do I keep this? No, thank God. Okay. This is better. We have Boseiju, Natural Order. I don't know what I bought him. Maybe the Order even? Or the Glimpse? No, Glimpse. Okay. So, spoiler alert, the punt in this game is the not fetching when the Saga can go to stage 3. And I think that cost me the game. So, okay, so, they have those removals too. Here I think I fired the Boseiju. I get the map here, I think here. Do you think it's correct?
Wait, say that. Oh, to Boseiju them?
Yeah. I think
probably not.
It's doubtful, right?
What are you trying to hit there? I mean, I don't.
We got the map, which is basically a combo piece, right? Getting the map. So okay, yeah. So I got a map when they're full tapped. So that means they cannot activate. So basically, they played the map and got nothing out of it.
Yeah, I don't think I would have made that play personally because we don't have a kill anytime soon, and it's not like we could do it later if need be.
Yeah, but okay. So my thinking there was because I didn't have more creatures in hand, and my next lander was another cradle, so I would have to be legendary ruling myself to deploy more mana. My thinking there was okay. So I am willing to pass a turn without making any play just to keep Boseiju up, and because I said no, that's the reason why I fired the Boseiju. But yeah, maybe you are correct that I should have holded it.
Yeah, I think I would have held it. There's I don't think you're under pressure to do anything there. And you don't have a quick kill. That's the other reason, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna cast Natural Order the following turn,
Okay, what?
or at least not guaranteed to.
Yeah, here I'm super scared of like what so many things: engineer, agent.
The other thing is like you ramp them is the problem.
Yeah.
With that line.
Mm-hmm. Again, checking for the endurance.
Massacre is pretty good. Man.
That Hardcast Massacre, man.
I actually think in general Massacre is not that great against us, but sometimes it can be.
No, I mean if we're playing the original OG 3/4 tribal, it's definitely not.
I do think here not having the Progenitus here is gonna hurt you.
So yeah, here I just realized I cannot get the Arbor.
I mean, did you board it in anyways, the Progenitus?
No, but here it was. So I think that was because I was not aware that they can play this slow game. So I guess that I thought the game was more heads to fast combo, but definitely if they want to play this slow game with removals, massacre, constructs, doughties, whatever, I think killing them in 2 swings with Progenitus is definitely worth it.
I think it's one of those things where if you like you'll get better at adapting on the fly as you play more.
So yeah, so here super punished for not getting the Arbor because in 2 turns I could have like screwed up in multiple ways right here. That Saga getting on stage 3 naming Windswept and I didn't fetch in response. I guess I thought they would get something else. And I didn't do anything.
Even if you think that they're going to do something else, you don't want to give them the option.
Yeah, and here another punt again. I legendary rule myself with Cradle thinking that I will activate the 3rd land, but I forget about that Doughty basically is Leyline of the Void, right?
Right.
Actually, Doughty pretty good. Not gonna lie. Not that pretty. It's a card that does quite a lot of things. Okay, so for the sake of time saving, I'm gonna save the rest. So, so after those 3-4 mistakes, I cannot come back. I just take a few more draws and just die.
The good thing is, if you do make mistakes, you want them all to be essentially in one matchup.
Yeah, clumped up in a matchup, you're already losing, right?
Right. If you clumped up in a matchup, you're already losing, right?
Yeah, agreed.
You don't want it to be one where it's close and you making mistakes.
More drawing. Oh, notably here, we drew Progenitus. Nobody guessed Progenitus. Would you have guessed Progenitus from here?
What do you mean?
This is a guessing game we play between rounds.
Oh, I see. the other thing is like the glimpse just based on watching this looks pretty bad to me in this match.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think now that we know their list, we can adjust accordingly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the list is pretty scary. Okay, so this is the 8-cast match with the explosives game 2. So yeah, let's go directly into it. Opener is amazing, I think. Even if they have Chalice, I'm still loving the opener.
This matchup is where we're on the opposite side, right? We're just casting spells at random, and
exactly right. So we actually know how it feels. Like it's amazing that we are under a Chalice turn 1, and you can still feel ahead, right?
Yeah. Well, if it was that, I'd be scared if it was Moon Stompy, but I think given that's 8-cast, you're not scared.
Exactly, because you have at the very least, worst case scenario, you have like 3 turns, 4 turns. So yeah, here pretty obvious, at least for me. Like yeah, we get Shepherd to get around Chalice, and they try to kappa us, but now that we have our deck unlocked, is like very similar to the previous 8-cast match where we can just play our deck.
Sorry, I'm eating an apple right now. That's what you're hearing in the background.
Sure. So many people asking about what you're eating on your streams.
Yeah, I know. People have complained that I didn't reveal what I'm eating, so now I'm going to reveal.
Yeah. Subscribe to the Patreon for the full disclosure of Newton meals. Okay, doing some math here.
So Inigo, a small nitpick. You should be leading with the visionary over the shepherd there.
Okay, let me just rewind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get what. Like, more draws, more option, better sequencing, right?
More options, and you're not in a glimpse chain, so it's not like you need to be mana tight.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the more cards, the better choices you make, right? The more cards you see, the better choices. Yeah, yeah, it's like the heuristic of drawing your cards first of Visio or Glimpse and then firing the ones, so you have a more educated guess of what you need to get, right? Okay, I think here we just draw one more. We even get an oof to further lock them.
Yeah, we're just casting spells at random.
Exactly, and then just the casual auto order next turn. Okay, so let's go next game. I'm actually curious about one thing. And that's sideboarding. How do you feel about Snuff Out / Grist / Murder Squad in this matchup?
I don't really like Grist because it's slow, and you have a sack creature, but I like Snuff Out.
Yeah, okay. I guess if I see a heavy Kappa build, sometimes I do like to keep Grist, but not every time.
I actually think I would rather prefer the Endurance than the Grist.
For graveyard control, right?
Yeah, it like sometimes matters, or just a flash creature to block the Doppers.
The top monitors, yeah. Okay, so all frame reclaimer.
Also, some of these lists run Wasteland. I don't really want to fetch. Well, I guess you will anyways for Snuff Out, but I just don't think it's that good. The Grist in this matchup.
Okay, so they go pretty wide with Sei, but we don't really care about the Thopters because we want to really win a single turn chunk.
Also, a small little thing here. I probably would lead with Shepherd, by the way. For this specific hand, game one.
Instead of Reclaimer, you mean?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. It's because I kind of want to get Green Sun for Collective anyways. So it means that they cannot just blindly force a turn one play.
Yeah, so you're not planning on activating Reclaimer turn 2, so you say, okay, I'd rather have my turn 3 Green Sun resolve, right? For sure.
You're right. I'd rather have my turn 1 Green Sun resolve guaranteed, and we have 2 Shepherds anyways.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so they play the Engineer Explosive, and that's game, I think. Given our board, and they already took care of the Chalice, Reclaimer is also needled. So I think we just go for the next game. I keep playing for a few more turns, but yeah, it's like... I put back the... So after that, after watching the so a small shout out for myself here, adapting on the fly topic. After seeing the explosives, I made the swap from Grist to Bog, right? So I don't really want them to record the...
Right. So I think if you don't have Caracas, Bog is fine. I think Caracas is even better.
Yeah, as you said earlier, it's like more permanent answer, right?
It's a permanent answer, right? Whereas Bog is a one time. What I really like about the current iteration of our deck is it's very flexible.
Yeah.
Before, it's like, if they have combo, we just hope that Leyline's good enough, and sometimes it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hence the name Cradle Control, right? Him holding... I mean, I think here is correct to hold Green Sun, even if our hand has basically nothing else. Because...
I like holding Green Sun here, yeah.
Yeah. The casual Birch Lore accelerating us to turn 2 Oof. Pretty broken.
Yeah, we have a chance for turn 2 Oof, or even turn 2, like... I don't know.
Yeah, Archon, but if you run it, yeah. Okay, so if we hit 1-drop, is a game, and we do hit, so yeah. Bless once upon a time. Yeah, so that's the match. Okay, doing some calculations. Here I think I took a little break. And then here we have a Moon Stompy matchup. Here we are. So on the play versus Moon Stompy, pretty important, pretty relevant to win the coin toss, right?
Yeah, very important.
So here I'm still I still have it carved in memory the previous round where I lost to the not fetching the forest.
This is the winning, right?
This is the winning in. Yeah. I mean, according to Jörg, I could still be making top even if I lost this one. But yeah, of course, trying my best to win every game.
Right. You don't want to leave things a chance.
No, not at all. I mean, the only scoop I would consider was scooping to Jörg himself. No one else. Like, because that gave us a chance for us both being in the top 8, right? Okay.
I like that.
So this is pretty brutal. They play Chalice, and at this point I was so happy you play Chalice after my Shepherd, and then the Just Fury.
Why did you know they were on Chalice?
No, I did not.
Why did you not lead with Reclaimer then?
What good question, actually. I think I just didn't want to expose Reclaimer. Maybe I put them on Delver, and since I didn't have the second fetch. But yeah, I actually didn't know. So this user, I haven't never played against him. I didn't have any record or information on.
I think if you don't know what they're on, I would definitely lead with Reclaimer in the dark. You have more options.
Yeah, it makes sense. I just,
right.
Yeah, I think, given that I don't have the second fetch, I rather like I'm really afraid they are on Delver, right? So I don't want to run my Reclaimer into a Bolt.
I think you have to go Reclaimer first there, because
okay.
It's a wrong answer.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, double pan is there for not leading with Reclaimer 2, right? Mm-hmm. Although that being said, I will say that I don't know if I would have gotten the leading with Shepherd procced them playing the Fury. You know what I mean? So
they might just Fury your Reclaimer too, to be honest.
I don't think so. I think they would get greedy and wait for
No, I think they would. You know why?
Why?
Because otherwise it becomes a 3/4. But I guess it's the same thing, right? Like otherwise you get Cradle or whatever nonsense.
Yeah, okay. Not only they have here's main deck here. So Reclaimer not gonna get big anytime soon.
The endurance here is actually a very good draw.
It's very good, yeah. It's awesome, and that's that also is a good pointer. As in, okay, so that tells me we're boarding correctly against this deck, because that card feels insane top deck right now. Like it's stopping their aggression on the spot, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
I think endurance is insane in this matchup because they can't beat a 3/4.
Yeah. Or even if they can, the amount of resources they have to spend to trade with it is insane, right?
Right. Here we're kind of punished, Inigo, for no progenitors.
Yeah, no. I think I mentioned it on stream, but I think math backs me up here.
Grits here is real good too, though.
Yeah. That's actually the line. That's the line I take. But here I am. So I'm pretty confident. Here we got the match. Sorry, we got the game. But I am very afraid of. Okay, so since we already stopped their initial aggression on the Rebel Master and they already used a Fury, my fear here is actually, you're gonna laugh, but upticking the grist. No, upticking the grist and milling my own hoof. That's my fear.
Oh.
So I take an over conservative line. I think here I spent a few minutes thinking about this. So I definitely get the grist. That's a yes. So I plussed once, and then I realized, okay, I don't want to risk more pluses if I can. Like if I can avoid placing any further, I will do, because if I mill the hoof,
I would just play the percentages in Ego.
yeah,
That's me.
okay. I
If
just
you mill it, then you mill it. Like you live with the one time it happens. That's me.
yeah. I mean, I've been there, and it's not nice. So yeah, so I here I delay this win more than what's needed. So I just fast forwarded. I just stop their aggression for a few turns, down tick the grist on the insect to kill the Rabble Master. Like I go super safe, right? So the crew, I play a few dudes, and then when I can natural order without my without plussing the grist, I just do it for the win. I think they play a Fable or something, but nothing like too relevant. So here, yes, it's just trivial. I get to pass through the chalice thanks to Shepherd, and I just can natural order for lethal. So yeah. But yeah, so I think here you mentioned what helped me, and here, for example,
Did you down tick the grist? Did I see that correctly?
Sorry?
Did you down tick the grist just now to kill the Rabble Master?
The second turn, yes, I down tick to kill the Rabble Master.
I don't think we actually care, right? Like about the Rabble Master.
Yeah, but what would you do? Because I was already adamant on not upticking because I was so.
Yeah, I think I would uptick.
Yeah, I mean it would be if I have a tick, I could have natural order 2 turns earlier. But yeah, I think I was too afraid because this matchup is such a coin flip. I wanted to secure the game 1.
I see. I think that's fine what you did. Like it's a little bit conservative for me, but I think it's fine.
I think on a big event, I'm being the winner in. I didn't want to play the percentages. that's I'm sorry. I guess. Okay, so pretty good hand. Again, another endurance, notably. Imagine if that was a glimpse, right?
Yeah, it would be horrible.
The hand wouldn't be even that bad, but I mean, endurance so much better, like multiple times better. You will find the best card in the deck. So I hope everybody's enjoying my mistakes on this stream. I think this is we don't do this often enough, and I think this really helps. I know it's
it just lined up today that I had the day off, so.
Also, thank you for doing this for me.
Also, what happened here? Why didn't you lead with the Reclaimer?
Well, they so aggressively Fury the other turn, so I just chose not to. But yeah, I was punished because if I would have led with Reclaimer, I could have gotten one token for free. Yeah, exactly. I realized right after. Sorry.
Small sequencing thing in Eagle.
Yeah.
I probably would lead with the Wirewood there to force a reaction on the Heritage first.
So yeah, okay, I get what you mean. So I lead with the Reclaimer with Symbiote.
If they have some kind of weird instant speed thing, I don't know.
Yeah. So if they want to remove anything, maybe a Dead and Gone or whatever, maybe they want to do it when the Wirewood is on the stack.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, good point. Yeah, very good point actually. I have all the data for Shamano. If you are interested, I can give you the data. But it's actually the other way around. The amount of games that you open with Once Upon a Time that convert into wins is positive, and I think it's like 60-something%. It's pretty high.
It's like one of the strongest cards in the deck.
Yeah. Okay, so here they split it that way. So here I think Ethan was around and he was helping me a little bit on chat. So yeah, but I mean it's pretty obvious, but it's always nice to have some of your buddies help you. So yeah, we bounce the we save the Reclaimer and tap the 1/2 blocker, and they just get 2 for 1. Well, actually 2 for 2, right?
Yeah.
And we are pretty happy because the pitch was Fiery Confluence, which is another killer card for us. Oh yeah, Forza Mano. Sorry, I just misunderstood you. Sorry. So yeah, they have the combo, double token generation. But luckily we're playing we're cheating, right? We're playing 3-4 trivial.
Yeah, it's crazy how good.
Yeah, endurance in this matchup is endurance is slowly. It's bordered in fair combo. Stompy. It's I mean, it's crazy that at some point we didn't play it. Crazy to think about it. Okay, so yeah, so here pretty happy about the Exile Fiery Confluence, and then we have a very nice block and a win on the comeback. As in, we want to rotate the Forest for Dryad and get another Dryad of the fetch. Here I make a slight mistake, so I'm going to put you to the test here. So the tables turn. let me pause it for you, and you tell me what would you have done. Because I remember this board state. It was pretty interesting. Okay, so they pump up Mentor and the attack with everything. So all of their things are 1/1s except the War Boss and the token that gets them Mentor. If I'm not mistaken. So it's 3 1/1s, 2 2/2s. All right, so here I will pause it. How would you block?
I think here, okay, they attack with the War Boss too, right?
Yeah, they attack with everything. So they attack with 3 1/1s and 2 2/2s. Like, I guess the question is, would you block any of the 2/2s with the Reclaimer, given that we can grow them to 3/4s, but risk them taking 2 damage? Or you will make the safe block, as in block only 1/1s?
Let me think. If we block the 1/1s, then we take 5. Yeah, I would probably play around Fury, like Baku mentioned.
Yeah,
so,
okay. So I go
so
for...
I think the correct line here is block 1 2 2, block 1 1 1. Right? Because they can't Fury both of them off the board.
Yeah, so I think I get the worst answer possible, which is block a 1/1 and a 2/2. I don't know why I do this, but I realize after. I spend a few...
No, if you block a 1/1 and a 2/2, it does play around Fury. They can only Fury 1, right?
Yeah, but okay, so you're gonna see what's it's not a Fury. Let's see. So I am actually deciding, I'm a little bit doubtful about my blocks there. I'm doing the math. Okay, I'm going to 6, so I'm...
Is that gone only due to creature?
Yeah, you got it. That's why you're the master. Yeah, so I do all my Reclaimer stuff, Reclaimer business, and they just that gone my Reclaimer. Luckily, I can pump it and get the Arbor out, which is pretty...
No, I think you have to block the War Boss, right? Like, otherwise you lose some other stuff.
I think maybe I would just block double 1/1s, right? Because as Baku said, we completely play around Fury, so they cannot Fury basically any of the Reclaimers, or they have to Fury 1 and the other one gets completely unscathed. Anyways, we just top deck another 1-drop for lethal, and that's game. But yeah, so the interesting decision of that game was that block specifically. Okay, so yeah.
I think I would have made the same block you did.
Yeah?
To be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
it still plays around Fury, and I'm not playing around Dead Gone.
Okay, so what I was definitely not gonna double block 2 2/2s. But
no, that would be the worst one, I think.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe it was a mistake to block 1/1, right?
No, I would have made the same block you did for the reasons Baku mentioned, which is to play around Fury.
Okay. All right, so we go into the quarterfinals against my arch enemy Baku here. Shout out to Baku, by the way. And thank you for letting me co-pilot Saturday Challenge together. All right, so I think this is probably one of the most interesting matchups. This and the following one, so I think we're going to be on time, actually. So we're on the draw against Baku, the villain of the story. Feel free to critique my opponent's moves here too, Newton. Baku says game 1 was quite boring, just drew creatures on lands. I mean,
This was 2-1 or 2-0?
I think it was 2-1.
2-1, okay.
But you will see how he took the one game. Baku style. Almost triple bolt me.
This is probably the last match I'll review because I do have to head out pretty soon.
All right. This is we're only missing the so this and the following one. So maybe you want me to speed it up so we can make it in time.
All
right.
I have about 10 minutes.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, just play that. So actually pretty happy here that he plays iteration and I can like reclaim for free my cradle.
I mean, we're gonna have to reclaim it for free anyways because we drew the bog.
Yeah. Here, notably, main deck Pyroblast serving him pretty good. I mean, he gets Delirium, but yeah. Okay, so here I choose to get the 6 instead of maybe just evoking. I think that's just bad, especially game 1 where we only have 1 endurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just again, we are aware that the game 1 we have the advantage that we can go wide unpunished. So that's the plan.
Yeah, game 1 we're casting spells at random.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean we're casting everything we can. So I'm here surprised he goes after the Arbor and not the Cradle.
Wait, so what happened here? Inigo, how did you? Why is the Cradle tapped? Did you cast the Visionary off of it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Might have
1 second.
done it a little bit differently, but
so I play Bog, exile the Bog. Yeah. I mean, I could have tapped the Arbor and the Forest, keep the Cradle up.
Yeah, I think I would have done that.
Yeah,
but
actually,
I took it over again.
Yeah. I mean, giving our hand doesn't matter too much, but it could matter. So but I guess it's just bad habits not to do it properly.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable.
No, you're right because I could have just. I'm not attacking with the Arbor anyway, right? Okay, so he kills the Arbor for some reason. I don't know why. So I float 1 and play the Endurance, trying to get it around days. And
what you did is okay because it gives you the option to reclaim her anyways.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing I noticed though is why was the Forest tapped? Can you go back?
Yes. The Forest was tapped.
Yeah. Can you go back? I think I might have
the earlier turn. Yeah. So we played. Okay, so here, bog them.
No, before that. Like a Forest is tapped, and I don't know if it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I just no, it was not supposed to be. So I could have made like I was trying to maximize mana because I would have.
There, Inigo. 2 things. I think you want. I think okay.
Hello, York.
Pause.
Yeah, it's.
I think two issues. I think you're supposed to lead with Visionary off the Cradle first. The reason being is if you draw into a 1-drop or 2-drop or Green Sun, then you can cast something again, and then if it's forced or countered, then you can bog afterwards and hit another card, right?
Okay, so I get what you mean. So if my creature
you tap the Forest for no reason again, right?
Yeah, so if my creature prompts any action from my opponent, being daze, force, whatever, I can get 1 extra card with the bog. Okay, so yeah, I have to capitalize on that. I have to make the bog. If my plan is to play bog that turn as my land for the turn, it has to be my last action. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's number one. The second thing is, again, you floated the forest here, and you couldn't get Cradle again.
No, that's absolutely. The only reason I did that is like I was, I guess, hoping the visionary drew me into something else. But
No, again, you floated the forest, right? You can cast the visionary off the Cradle already.
Yeah. So forest was tapped for no reason. Yeah. Agreed. Okay. Okay, so here, so he gets the Delirium back, I believe. Yeah, so we've gone through this play. He waves the Arbor, I float 1, tap the 3 Elves, get the Endurance back in through days. I get the turn back, and then here I have to bait. I have to bait the Force because I don't know what he has. His hand has 4 cards, and I decide to go for the Force bait with the Glimpse. And actually, Baku asking in the chat, was that Force a bait? And I said, yeah, it was. Just declining and just a casual hoof for the win. Game 1.
Yeah, I think I think that's fine. What you did, but you see how it couldn't matter, right? Like if they waste.
Yes. But there's so many small things that you have to. It's pretty hard. Not gonna lie, it's pretty hard.
No, yeah, I don't doubt it's hard, Inigo. But I'm just saying, like, I think Jörg is right. Like, if you write these things down, it might help you correct some of these bad habits. I guess is probably the best way to say it.
You're gonna laugh, but I have a post-it next to my screen. It says check for Grafdigger's Cage, check for Chalice for 1, and check for Canonist. And I know for a fact I'm not the only one making those mistakes.
No.
playing into Chalice.
Those are more reasonable, I think, because you just like missed it. But I think the sequencing it will hurt you. Inigo.
And they are also harder to straighten up because they are like more embedded into my play, I guess. So I have to work harder to correct them. Okay, let's go a little bit faster. So maybe we can finish this game.
I would have snuffed out the Delver, by the way.
Yeah, it didn't flip, so I think I was fine. And here I'm.
No, I mean on the previous turn, I probably would have went fetch, Bayou, snuff out Delver, and then play my 1-drop.
Yeah, my problem there is I was afraid of no green source, right? So if my
well, you have to save you.
Yeah, but again, wastable again. I was pretty afraid. Okay, wait. So Jörg says, I noticed that the strategy guide alone gives me a clearer view on those things, but as you said, it's not always easy and depends on the cards you find. Yeah. I mean, I think the matchup is very interesting and very intricate. That's why I think I enjoy it. But it's definitely I think Jax said it earlier, like the amount of small decisions that have a super high impact on the game. So the decisions...
It's usually on our side, actually.
Like, decisions might seem small, but they are super big impact. That's how I see it.
It's because our deck is an exponential growth deck.
Our deck is non-forgiving deck.
But usually the small decisions on our side really matter a lot. And I think for them, the decisions that tend to matter a lot that can be tough is in the mid game where they have to pick the turn to iteration and tap out.
Yeah, what we said earlier, right? The turn where they are struggling with their decision making. Okay, so I think here we just run this trying to bait the days, and I think they stifled this visionary. If I correctly remember. Notably,
I didn't know Baku was playing Stifle right now.
Yeah, he's playing 1. Luckily, I know about this because I played Saturday Challenge.
I would never play around there if I get get.
Yeah, I did know about that. So here, I guess, okay, if they didn't choose to daze the VCO and use the value to stifle it, my read is okay. You don't have days, right? Because why would you Stifle can stop so many other relevant triggers other than a draw, so I guess they don't have the days. No, pero, sorry, que sabía que solo jugabas uno, ¿sabes? En plan, uno random, si lo tengo ahí abierto, revelado. So Baku pointed out that they knew it because it was revealed, and that's fair, but I also knew that he was playing a single copy. For what it's
both
worth.
are true.
Yeah, both true, exactly. So here I'm pretty fried, as you can see. I play Reclaimer first to maximize mana, and then try to glimpse into something. Oh no, I snuff out actually the threat, but I'm dead next turn because he has the what's the name? The borrower.
Yeah. There's not about real liability right now.
Yeah, but check this out. Check this out. This Baku play. What is it? Vale. So yeah, here I hit 3 lands. I think, yeah, pretty unfortunate. Like, pretty unfortunate. And then he hits the borrower, and I can see it. Okay, next game. On the play again with, I think, a pretty good hand.
Baku's been doing real well, I saw, too, in the challenges.
Baku is pretty consistent. He's consistently doing like a 4-3.
I saw he top-aided like a few times recently.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, he's... Yeah.
So game 3 here. That's quite a good hand. I think the worst card, ironically, here is the Glimpse.
Yeah. And that says a lot about our card quality.
Yeah. And it's not even that bad here.
No. I mean, if you get to the mid game with enough mana developed, the Glimpse can be a legitimate threat.
It's essentially our version of iteration.
Yeah, I would agree.
So far, you're playing exactly how I would have played.
Yes, George, I agree to that. So that's a point where here I'm taking you out. So that's a point where Murderous Cut will be far superior to Murderous Cut.
No. I think you're also mentioning that you had the chance to cast Snuff Out on turn 1 and you didn't, which is what I would have done.
Oh, yeah. But also...
Right? Like, I would have fetched by you, play around days, Snuff Out the Delver, is what Jorg is saying.
But I think actually Delver is the worst threat to snuff. Because
you have to save life, right? It really matters.
Yeah.
That's what Jorg is hinting at.
Yeah, what you mean is it's better to take 4 like in advance rather than 6 during multiple turns, right? Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay, so 3/4 tribal activated, I guess. We have the endurance there during the glimpse chain, and then we have the follow-up endurance. So pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable, so that they cannot stick a Murktide, and given that we draw off the
yeah, given that the glimpse is active, it doesn't feel so
right.
bad.
I probably would not make that play if you don't have a glimpse, but
exactly. So it feels less bad to evoke an endurance if you have an active glimpse. Okay, here Baku notably.
The thing is, you're talking about your timing with Snuff Out. I think it's a card you have to play on turn 1 or turn 2, because otherwise you're not going to get a chance really later on to play it.
Yeah. I think I'm still adapting to Snuff Out. I think the play patterns are not that obvious or easy. So I usually am like 2 weeks behind you when we're talking about new tech. So I adapt slower. Yeah, and then here Baku notably whining about our hand quality, right? In chat. Drawing cards, pretty good.
I think here you have to, bounce the Visionary and play it. You cannot. This deck you cannot waste mana for the most part. Yeah, so I kind of agree with Yurt. Hopefully you know what we mean by your window to cast it was essentially turn 1.
The snuff out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you took extra life when you didn't need to as a result. Like we're using it as a life gain spell, ironically enough, there.
Yeah, because you're switching 4 for potential 6+.
Right.
Got it. Okay, so here yeah, so the end of this match, I was criticized by it, but I guess most of the people missed what was going on the chat between Baku and I. So I will explain it to you here because it was not actually a misplay. Okay, yeah. So here actually I was debating about bouncing the Visio because given that we have Cradle in hand, top deck Shepherd or top deck Way to find Shepherd would be lethal on board because we had 3 unsummon sick elves. But after
I agree with bouncing it.
Yeah, so after discussing it for a little bit and trying to like put in my thoughts out, I decided that maybe drawing also the endurance or like Shepard wasn't our only chance to survive, and we had other outs as well. So I finally decided for bouncing, and it was correct.
What did chat say? Did chat say to bounce or not bounce?
Chat was a split. Some people said bounce, some people said not bounce. It was like split.
I think the obvious answer there is the bounce. You don't have any cards in hand that matter.
So we drew another tribal. Keep drawing. And I think there's no reason to wait on the endurance.
I probably would have sequenced it a little bit different there. Like you could have drawn a glimpse off the visionary, so I would not have played the reclaimer immediately.
Oh, yeah, I see. So okay. So you would play the Visio first and the reclaimer later for a possible chance
just
of
a fee, right?
Yeah.
I would pick up the right.
Yeah, so you kept the buffer elf instead in case you picked up the glimpse, right?
Right.
Yeah, makes sense.
But here, I think you're in a very good spot now.
Yeah, absolutely. So after 2 turns, like he has to find the end
of festivities here.
Yeah, exactly. But you're gonna see he almost Baku kills me, and you're gonna see what I mean by Baku kill. You're gonna see. I was super frightened. Okay, so he attacks here. We get the block. No, I'm not talking about submerge. More land. Why not? So I'm doing some combat calc. I chose not to tap any. I don't want to miss any of my attackers here. So I have extra cradles, so I don't care to tap them. Keep drawing.
Yeah, that's heads up. I probably float black, by the way. There. It doesn't really matter, but
yeah. Again, nothing. We blanking on 5 consecutive lands. So basically, we have half of our lands in our hand. So bog is live, so I rebog them. And here I hold back the endurance, which is a mistake. I realized actually Levi. Shout out to Levi and Azrael here, my friend. They tell me about this because I have 2 double untaps, and here Baku has double bolt, so I'm super scared that he has a triple bolt. I am actually
you should attack me right there.
Okay,
because you have 2 Warwood, right?
And now he finds, I think this is iteration into bubble. And he says, literally he's saying in chat, if I hit submerge, like I win basically. Something like that. Exactly. So Baku says, yeah, submerge wins the game here. So now people in the chat, so next turn I will crack fetch and go to 1. But actually, Baku already told me GG, and I know he doesn't play Gutshot, so that's why I did it. It's not like I was like misplaying. So he already told me that he wasn't play. He already said GG in chat. I wouldn't think he would be like cheating on me that way. So yeah, he GGs, and then that after the GG I fetch. I know you shouldn't be making this because you could die to submerge, but he's joking there about Gutshot and whatnot. Okay, so pretty close game with against Baku, and then the finals. Do you have time to do the semifinals? Do you have time to do them, or is I mean?
No, I have to go. It's already too late for me.
Okay,
Inigo.
so
but thanks for having me, though.
No, thank you for coming. Don't feel bad about pointing my mistakes. I think that's it's the only way to improve. If you keep playing and nobody points out your mistakes, you sadly will continue making them. So it's the only way to improve, I think.
I think my recommendation is what Jörg just recommended, which is you write the notes down of some of the habits that you have that we need to break.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, enjoy the last match here on stream. I do have to head out right now.
Okay, thank you for your time, Newton.
And congratulations again on the top.
Thank you. I'm so happy. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye. Okay, so even if we lost Newton here, we will just check the last game. Notably, this game we lose. Let's see if we can find any mistakes like Newton would have pointed out. So here I did with Reclaimer because what I'm thinking here, okay, so we know this person is on Delver and we are on the play, so we're not playing. He has to either force it or bolt it, and he ends up bolting it. So I think I'm okay with that. I mean, the fact that it forces a play from them is, I think, is good, right? He wastes my Cradle, which is pretty brutal. I do find another Elves to turn on Beardslore, but yeah, this game is lost on the early turns because, again, not being able to develop my mana properly. And he makes a super early Murktide too. Yeah, so fast concede there. Go to game 2. Oh wait, that was too fast. Okay, so let's analyze the opener. The opener is risky, definitely risky because we have double Bocheiju. We keep the fetch for Bayou to turn Snuff Out on. And again, as Newton would say, this is a super speculative hand because we have the... it only plays for glimpse, right? Okay, so here I think we get the Bayou, I think. So we want definitely our Snuff Out to be online. And we attempt to glimpse. I think he bolts, if I'm not mistaken. No, he forces. Okay, he forces the glimpse. Pretty happy about that, to be honest. Just play our guys. Okay, that was an interesting decision here. I attack with a druid, so because I know I have the Snuff Out, I know I can take care of the other Delver. I choose to let him without any threats. Same thing I would deal with the first Delver if it flips. Yeah. So I was not planning to let him attack another time, but I slow rolled it because I said so here in this board state. I said, oh, if he thinks he's ahead with this Delver flipped, I might as well offer the trade here. And if he trades here, I keep him without any more threats. If they murk, they murk. Good. Vale. suena mal, pero bueno. Okay, so they clean our board, and yeah, our Snuff Out actually doesn't work. Here we go. I think we get Endurance. But you can't take one hit if they have DRC, you target it. Yeah. So DRC is the prime target. I think we agreed to that. Here we just are on top deck mode for a few turns. I don't think we can say no to a grist here. And here I have a hard time deciding if I play the grist or the elves. I really don't want to play into end, so I choose to run the grist into daze. And this is a hard decision for me because it's one of our best cards in the matchup, and I would really hate if it got dazed. I'm okay with it being forced, but not with it getting dazed. So grist actually connects, and we +1. We can defend with the endurance. So actually, here between endurance and grist, we stabilize. Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I was thinking also. If they waste my Bayou, the grist would be stranded in my hand. So after giving it a few moments to think about it, I say, okay, this turn I have the mana, I might as well play it. Yeah, that's the same reasoning I make on the stream. And they play a Murktide. I think here we can just play the Birchlord and minus to kill the Murktide, attack. We don't commit to the board trying to play around the festivities. Now we do play because we have the kill the following turn, and they concede. So at this point we are 1-1. We go to game 3, and I think the game 3 is not especially close. Opener is actually pretty damn good. Opener is so good. At this point I have some hopes. But I think they have like the nuts. They play an asset which is odd to me. Against Elves, I don't think I would bring in asset in. Oh, thank you for the follow, Bookish Matt. Bookish Matt. So yeah, we play the Druid. Attack the Nase down to 2. And I think we play the Arbor. Argument to not play the Arbor here, I think, is playing... Yeah, exactly. So playing around end the festivities. If they want to end, so they only take 2 and not 3. Yeah, and that I was rewarded by that choice, not playing the Arbor, because if I would have played the Arbor there, they would have taken 3 for 1. And now they're more tight, so yeah, the game is basically lost here. We have to find basically find a removal, or we cannot keep playing, and we drew just all the lands of the deck, basically. So we have another turn to draw our out to grist, to Murktide, sorry. And we just find another land. So that is basically game. So pretty sad ending. I concede 1 turn too early. So I concede here, and I shouldn't have, because I could block for 1 more turn. I would not go if we say you with turn 2 if you have a wasteland. You were far behind. Okay, so let me just go to turn 2 really fast. I would not go with Boseiju in turn 2. So you will lead here with Bayou? George, is that right? In this turn you will go with Bayou? Or at what spot do you mean? Because here we don't have a choice, right? If we play the Boseiju, we legend rule ourselves. So that is pretty bad. Boseiju can deal with Cage. That is true, yeah. Yeah, this is game 3. Oh no, this is not game 3. Sorry. I rewind too much. All right. Yeah, okay, so let me get to that. I will not lead with Boseiju in turn 2. So we played Forest. Okay. So actually it was not forced because we could have gotten the Second Forest. Yeah, you are right. That is another misplay. With 0 upside for me for playing the Boseiju. I guess the only upside of playing Boseiju is like presenting a wasteable land for them. So maybe they want to waste Boseiju, and if they do it, I can play Cradle with more confidence. But no, I agree. Upon review, I agree with you with what you said. I had games lost against Cage. Yeah, that is pretty unfortunate. I mean, we do cut the natural order package, but yeah, losing the ability to Green Sun is pretty big. Okay, so yeah. So that was my review of the challenge. I hope you all enjoyed. But the main reason is endurance in hand. Yeah, so if you get wasted, you lose basically tempo, right? You lose one turn where you could have endurance earlier. Yeah, I have all the lands in the world, so yeah. I was not particularly worried about mana this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands, dude. So many. And I drew extra later too. All right, so yeah, that was the review of the challenge. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry I couldn't have Newton until the end, but he has to run errands. Actually, another shout out to Newton because he actually woke up really early to be here with me today. So shout out for him. Thank you everybody who came by, and thank you everybody who joined today and yesterday as well. I very much enjoyed streaming the challenge yesterday. And thank you, Jorg, as well, for joining us today to help coaching me. Next stream is programmed for tomorrow, 6 p.m. We will be testing more stuff on leaks. So thank you, everybody, and let's find someone to raid. So let me see who is streaming Legacy, and we will raid them. Oh, right. So Jundingo is streaming. We are gonna raid him. Okay, so thank you everybody who came by again. It was a pleasure for me to have Newton as a guest. This video will be uploaded to YouTube. So if you watch it there, please drop a follow, it really helps. And see you next time. Thank you.